We have a lot of soccer today.
We've got so much soccer, Gallo. We're really going to be kicking it hard tonight. We're going to be talking about the new comings on both teams, also a change at the helm for both teams as well.
That is correct, and we'll get right into it. Men's soccer, head coach stepped down. Bill Denniston stepped down after a long time at the helm of that 177, 233, and 51 record since 1997. That's 23 seasons. One of the few coaches in RMU history to be there for more than 20 seasons, Jack.
No, yeah, and we see the accolades of Bill Denniston, but we're also looking ahead to the future and the culture of this team. Maybe some new leadership is something that will change really the mantra of a team that's been perennially not where they would like to be. Granted, they almost made the NEC playoff last year. Still not a good season that you would have been, a season you can be proud of, but they know that they can do better, and hopefully that's what they're looking forward to. That's
right, and women's soccer has also got a change up top. That's correct. They will have a new coach for the upcoming season as well. Both soccer teams are losing their coach this year, but women's soccer, just once again, maybe it's a passing of the torch, a changing of the guard sort of thing that needs to get them a change of scenery right now.
No, exactly, and we saw, John Kowalski's stint. It wasn't a great one. It has been mentioned before on this very program. The 112, 224, and 19 records in 2001. Not the best. He served as interim head coach of the U.S. men's national team in 1991. Granted, I feel like he had a better grasp on things then than he has for the last 19 seasons. But like we said, they have some options where they kind of want to go with the hiring. They have a couple speculations, some speculating around Chris Shaw being the next guy up. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, actually, Chris Shaw is the new women's soccer coach, and he coached the past 6 years with the Runnin' Rebels at UNLV, 66, 48-9 record. 2016 Mountain West Conference Coach of the Year, which is by far a better conference than the NEC. He was coach at Barton College in 2013, 2004, and 2013 Conference Carolina's Coach of the Year.
No, yes, and then we also have the leaving players, and we're going to throw that over to John Hanna and Sam Goldberg. Guys, what do you got?
Well, thank you, Jack. As you said, I'm here with Sam Goldberg. And Sam, just look at some of these players. These are some key contributors. You have guys like Christopher Corriedon, who played 3,674 minutes over his career, 49 games played. And last year, he played every minute of every single game.
That's quite impressive. That just shows you the durability of him and just the fact that he was able to play that long throughout every game and just be there for the men's soccer team throughout the year.
And then another contributor, maybe not as much, but Christian Corriedon, 3 goals, 2 assists, 8 points. Not someone you can, reliably count to get on the score sheet, but he is able to get on the score sheet when it matters.
He was able to be a threat on the field that opposing defenders had to mark him, because he was dangerous his senior year, and just things didn't really fall his way. He couldn't really get on the score sheet at all, but he was a dangerous player, and he had to be marked at all times.
And now, looking at forward, who are some of the guys that you can see coming in and replacing these 6 graduates?
So one of my players to watch coming in this class is Tom Akinola. Tom, my personal opinion, I believe he's one of the best transfers to come into this program. He's a sophomore transfer. He's a forward. He's coming from Toronto FC Academy. That's an MLS club for those who don't know. Last season, he had 19 points in 20 games, 8 goals, and 3 assists. And he's one of my players to watch, really deadly person on the field. And defenders are going to have to keep an eye on him the whole time.
And then you mentioned players to watch that are coming in. But looking up next year, my breakout star is Matt Sillo, wingback. He is actually NEC All-Second Team last year.
He was one of the bright spots for the Colonials last year. And just a solid midfielder. He did what was told of him. He scored 2 goals last season, and he started in all 16 games.
Those 2 goals, it doesn't seem like a lot. That was actually tied for second on the entire team. So wow. Tom Akinola is going to make a big impact up front, and he went the distance in all but 3 matches last year. So that's going to be, someone he's going to look to take the goal or take the realm of Christopher Corriedon, who we mentioned played every single minute of every single game.
Yes, indeed. And then finally, one more player that I'm looking forward to with incoming players, goalkeeper Alto Ruiz de Iguiza, coming in from transfer company. He's got good size. He can really move from post to post. He posted a 14-4 record last year with a really good save percentage, 752 save percentage, 4 clean sheets last year. So he's gonna come into a carousel of goalkeepers, but I'm pretty sure he'll come out as the #1 for the Colonials.
And then how do you see these moves, both incoming and players developing, going to impact because RMU is moving into the Horizon League this year, how do you feel that's going to impact them in the Horizon League?
In all honesty, some of the moves that with players coming in, like Akinola, and with an even better goalkeeper in Aguiza coming in, I feel like RMU has a pretty good shot with some of the players that they have still in Silo. I could see a top 5, maybe top 3 finish for the Colonials.
One thing
in the
to
Horizon
note
League.
that's interesting is you saw the standings up there, but the only team that RMU has played relatively commonly is Cleveland State, and they have a 6-11 record over them all time. So it'll be interesting to see how this Colonials team matches up against these newer opponents.
It should be interesting to see, especially with Cleveland State. They have a pretty solid team, but I do believe with a lot of the transfers coming in for the Colonials that they'll definitely be able to get the job done against Cleveland State.
Well, coming up next, Nate Breisinger obviously COVID is a bit difficult. So Nate Breisinger sat down with Brittany O'Connell, a senior midfielder from the women's soccer team. Let's take a look at that.
I'm here joined today by senior midfielder Brittany O'Connell, who has started for the Robert Morris Women's Colonials soccer team, 33 games throughout her career. Thanks for joining me today, Brittany.
Thank you.
Just quickly off the top, I mean, what was the off-season like since, dealing with quarantine, the coronavirus? What was your off-season like, away from the team, and what did you do to keep yourself busy?
Yeah, so it's been a little different. So normally we're in season in the fall. So our season got pushed to spring, so that was a bummer, but I think it worked in our favor. So we came back a little later, but we have new coaches this year, so being an off season allowed us to meet them and get to know them, and for them to get to know us too. So other than that, it's been the same. We've been practicing 4 days a week. It's going to change to 5 soon. We've been lifting a lot. So we've just been working every day to get better every day, and yeah.
So, you brought up already Coach Chris Shaw. I mean, he's coming in from UNLV, where he put up a 68, 48, and 9 record over 6 years. He was the winningest coach in their program. So far, what has it been like working with him?
It's been really nice. It's a big change from coaches we've had previously, and it's been a very good change. So it's been exciting to work with him and to get his input and knowledge with the game, and of being able to apply it. Soon it'll be in games in the spring, but right now it's nice to apply it in practice. And I think we're looking a lot better than we did at this point last year. So I think that's very rewarding and exciting for us.
So has there really been a difference between philosophies and coaching styles between him and last year's coach, John Kowalski, who was here for 19 years? Is there really any differences, or what is Coach Shaw bringing to the table?
I think Coach Shaw is more pushing about getting forward and attacking, whereas our old coach was more defensive coach. There's nothing wrong with that, but I think we didn't score as much as we wanted to last year. So I think this new style will push us to shoot more and attack more, and hopefully that will result in a lot more goals.
Yeah, do you think this offensive style he's bringing, do you think it'll allow for a lot of the players to score a lot more goals and maybe help you guys be more successful than a defensive-minded team?
Yeah, definitely. I think being more offensive will get more players up and into the attacking zone. So I think more players will be scoring, and I think, that'll be beneficial.
So you guys are moving from the NEC to the Horizon League. What are you looking forward to most, changing over to the Horizon League?
Yeah, we're all really excited. I think it's going to be nice to see new teams, play against new teams. We really get a fresh start this year. We have new coaches, new conference. So I think we're just ready to prove ourselves and finally make playoffs. I know the team that we have currently has never been into the playoffs. So this year is definitely a year to prove ourselves, new conference, new teams. We can definitely do it.
And for your team, what do you think it'll take to get to the playoffs, as you mentioned?
Yeah, I think we just need to focus on getting better each day and stay motivated in this off season despite not having any games. I think we stay motivated, get to know each other as a team, and carry that into the spring. I think will be that.
And so your team returns, I believe it's 19 out of 22 players. You have 6 seniors on the team, including you. What is this experience? How does this experience help moving into the Horizon League?
I think it'll help us a lot because we know each other. We have 4 incoming freshmen, so it's nice. It's not too much. We get to know each other very well, especially since we have off season in the fall. We can definitely grow as a team. I think with a lot of returning players, we've played together. We know how each other works, so that's very beneficial for us.
And then how do you think you for yourself and then the other seniors, how do you think you guys will, provide leadership for those young freshmen and just the rest of the team this season?
Yeah, I think we'll definitely be able to lead them and lead by example and show them how motivate them. I know for seniors and stuff, it's our last year. We want to do well. Our season almost got canceled because of COVID, so we were definitely motivated and want to do well this season, and hopefully underclassmen see that and work it just as hard as us.
Yeah, and like you said, the season was almost canceled, but now it's moved into the spring. Hopefully there is a start date that's announced soon, and if you guys do have a season, what are your expectations for the season?
Definitely to win and a win-loss. So past seasons we haven't had a great record, so I think this year our goal is to have a much better record. Like I said, it's a new conference, so we can definitely use this as an opportunity to prove ourselves and do well. I think we're all very motivated to do well, so I think it'll be a good year.
And I want to thank you, Brittany, for joining me here on Colonial Sports Center.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center, and I'm here with Nate Bryce, who just sat down with Brittany O'Connell, and we'll have more women's soccer and all the happenings with them when we come back. Stay tuned for more.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
What are you doing in there?
What's that?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
How prepared is your family if a hurricane shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a blizzard? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
Let's go.
you'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes.
Make a plan today.
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. Tyler Gallo alongside Nate Bryce, who just sat down with Brittany O'Connell. And Nate, we've got a lot more women's soccer to talk about, don't we?
Yeah, and for this women's soccer team, there's a lot of players that that departed from the team. 4 individuals who were a key part of this program. And off the top, I mean, Christina Kelly, one of the better players who left the team last year, had 4 goals, tied for second on the team.
That's right, and she was two-time All-NEC. She was first team in 2017, and in 2018, she was second team. And these are some players that are pretty good that are leaving. Obviously, Julia Schmid, has second all-time in save percentage at RMU with .818 save percentage.
Yeah, and Schmid has been a reliable, backup to Cindy Bruckner. The tandem that they were until Schmid obviously leaving, and you talk about her save percentage, ranking among some of the best in Colonials history.
Yeah, and she actually had the school record single season save percentage of .873 back in 2018, and she had a 134 goals against average. So she's going to be missed as the backup to Sydney Bruckner, who looks to hold down the fort again this year. Yeah,
no, and you look at some of these players that have left, and especially going back to Kelly, seeing her production level of 4 goals last year, which was important for the Colonials because they only scored 22 goals all season last year, and you lose her, and you need people to step in and step up, and that comes into play where these incoming freshmen come in.
That's right. There is a lot of incoming freshmen for these Colonials, and that's going to be huge, replacing the void that these seniors have left. There's a few of them that are going to take over. One of them is a goaltender actually coming in. So we've got Haley Finale, who I think is going to be the impact freshman this season. She had over 100 career goals for South Park, and she's from nearby. So, and obviously she's got a bit of home cooking for this team. Yeah, 3 out of 4 of the freshmen are local, but then you look at the player that comes from far away, from Las Vegas, and Alexis Gilliland. A defender, midfielder defender, who's been really is a notable player coming into the program. She was helped her squad go to a 2016 State Cup. Last year, posted 15 goals and 10 assists, and was named Defensive Player of the Year 3 times. So she's an important piece that comes in and can help solidify that defense. Seeing some of their players that they lost, she can help play a pivotal role in the back end. That's right, and they've also got some transfers coming in. One of them is Courtney Worstell, who looks to sit right behind Sydney Bruckner and take over that role that Jules Schmid did left when she graduated. Yeah, and you look at these 2 incoming transfers, Christia Kania and Worstel. Both of them didn't play last year, but they could be key pieces moving in, fitting into a team that didn't play real well last year, going 6-10-2 overall, 4-5-1 in the conference. So two players that can be really fit into this team. Yeah, and well, another player that there's players that definitely need to step up this year that are probably already on the roster. Who do you think is going to be the breakout player for this team this season? The breakout player for the year has to be sophomore Sheridan Reed. Led the team with 5 goals last year. As a freshman, a really huge piece of this team. Playing played in all 18 games, started in 16 of them. She is a reliable force on that field, and her production needs to sort of come up and sort of being a leader by example for this Colonials to continue to score. Right, and you talked to O'Connell during the interview, and she said that they're becoming more of an offensive-minded team, so we could see Sheridan Reed step up already. And another player that I think would step up is Kayla Velosa-Lima, who had 4 goals and 2 assists last year, and she actually was on CSC last year and talked to John Hanna. And it's going to be an interesting season for this team, especially going into the new conference with a new coach, and it's just going to be a learning experience for all of them. Yeah, there's a lot at stake for this season. Chris Shaw coming in, some of the seniors that are going to be here for the season, Cindy Bruckner, the keeper for the team. I think a lot relies on her and the ability to be successful in this new conference in the Horizon League. But they need a lot more goals. 22 goals just wasn't enough to be a good team in the NEC last year. Right, you take a look at the conference, Milwaukee, far and away the leader in this conference, 8-0-1, 17-1 overall. They've actually played, RMU has played them, they're 0-2 against them all time, and the team that they faced the most is actually Youngstown State, all the way down there in 9th, who RMU sits right over them, 13-8-1 all-time record against them, a team that they're more familiar with, so a team that they could maybe have a rivalry brewing with a little bit closer than most of the other teams in the league. Yeah, I think Youngstown State is going to be an intriguing matchup whenever they take them on, but also Milwaukee is one of the best teams in this conference. Winning the postseason for the Horizon League 2 years in a row, going last year into the first round of the NCAA tournament, losing to the #1 team in Wisconsin. But they are definitely a team that Colonials are going to struggle against. But there's games that they can definitely win in this league. Right, and it's good. Once again, it's going to be a learning experience for all these teams that are going into the new leagues. But soccer is going to have the hardest one, especially with the new coaches coming in and the coaches that were there for such a long time. So that's pretty much all that we're going to talk about for women's soccer. But when we come back, we're going to take a look at what goes into ice preparation at the Island, as well as hot takes. Stay tuned for that on Colonial Sports Center.
you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Well, now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Jason, let's go see your room.
How was it? Is it good?
Things could be stranger, but I don't know how. I'm going through changes now. Could spend a lifetime trying to figure it out. I'm going through changes, through all of the strangeness. I'm going through changes now.
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. Now, last week we referenced we're going to show you the stories of the players, but not only them, but the people who make the show go on. And that's exactly what we're about to do, showing you what goes into game day preparations at the Island Sports Complex.
For Robert Morris men's and women's hockey, the ice at Clearview Arena is sacred. But before they step out for their home games, the Zamboni crew at the Island Sports Center is hard at work to get the ice ready for games to be played. The process begins with using the edger to cut around the perimeter of the ice, making sure that it's a nice flat sheet. And before the Zamboni does its job, it gets a brand new sharp blade before every ice cut. Then, 2 Zambonis are brought out to clean and wet the ice, so a fresh top layer is put on before each period of the games. After each cut, the snow is cleared off the blades and dumped out. The last piece of the game day ice surface puzzle is to insert the pegs into the holes in the ice and place the nets in the proper positions. Debuting this upcoming season will be a brand new Zamboni with a Clearview Federal Credit Union paint job. Now, the ice is ready for another hockey night at the Island with your Robert Morris University Colonials.
Well, welcome back. Hold on. Can someone turn the AC down? Hot takes are coming up next. Stay right where you are.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique.
And your mother and... I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Stand is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center, and I'm sweating up a storm because we've got hot takes. I'm joined by Luke Yost and Nick Hedrick. Boys, thanks for coming out, and we will get right into it. We'll start with you, Mr. Yost. What is your hot take?
Listen, I picked football to win their conference last week. This week I'm taking softball. Excuse me. This is a top 5 offense in the Horizon League based on the numbers from last year. Only a shortened season for everybody, both NEC and Horizon League. But yeah, and this offense is going to be good. They're going to be good. They're going to be great. Not good. They're going to be great.
Like Tony the Tiger, they're great.
They're great,
There we
Nicholas.
go, there
They
we
are
go.
great. This pitching staff is going to do well. This is a Horizon League, likes to hit the ball and likes to play defense. All right. This is going to be a pitching staff that's going to be very good. It's going to be a great offensive year for the Colonials.
Wow. I don't know. I don't know if I can comment on that. Are you telling me you did the math?
I
to
did
find
the
out
math.
where they would have
Nick,
finished
I've
had
got
they
all
been in
their
the Horizon
numbers
League
right
last
here.
year?
You can see it. Listen,
We got a mathematician in the house.
I'm not a mathematician. I'm just going numbers.
That
I can
my
do a
hot
calculator.
take is that men's football. That there's only one football team, so I hope it be the men's team. Football wins all
American
of their home
football,
games.
that is.
American football. That's very
There
fair.
are other countries in the world, Nick.
I know. That I apologize to the other countries. Anyway, football wins all of their home games. Last year they went 4-2. They're bringing back some very talented players this year. Jacob White on defense, Taven Harville on the defensive side as well. Quarterback George Martin will be back. Elijah Jackson will be back. There's a few worries with the receiving core to me, but you know what? Don't make that face. Don't make that face.
You said words with the receiving core. I mean, I'm not worried about the receiving core. I'm really worried about this defense getting smoked by these.
You mean the defense that was considerably better than the first year Clark was here?
I'm just saying this is a defense that really had trouble with the run.
They've got
last year.
pieces. They've got pieces of the puzzle, and they got the mind.
They don't have all of them.
They got the mega mind. Bernard Clark,
Sure.
the coach, the man,
The Tiger.
the myth, the legend. They're going to be fine.
All right, well, you seem to be very confident in that. I'm going to be taking my hot take to the ice. I know that's contradictory, but I am picking men's hockey to win the Atlantic Hockey Association. Now, we talked about this team needing to have a better year, but we also talked about the additions this team is getting, and they're all coming from a scoring perspective. Randy Hernandez, Gavin Goulash. Sick name, by the way. The thing is, you're getting brand new scoring in. And we also talked about the young guys last year who were promising, that were looking to step up. Santeri Hartikainen, Nick Lalonde, both guys who found their scoring touch just later in the season. Look for them to continue that. But also, you've got vets on this team as well. Not to mention Nick Jenny and Nick Prokusik, Nick Squared, where Prokusik led the team in points. Well,
That's
I mean,
cute.
if you were on the team, yeah, sure.
Did you ever see me play mini sticks?
No.
We'd win the Atlantic Hockey Conference every year.
There's an Atlantic Hockey Mini Sticks conference, is there?
Well, first of all, it has to be the association, the CAHA.
I agree that Hartikainen's the man this year, though.
No, and he is.
This was almost my hot take.
I know, but
Fun
it's
facts.
mine.
Fun facts with Hedrick.
Well, more or less general facts with Hedrick. The point is, this team is primed for a good season, and I don't see it going any other way, folks.
Again, that was almost my hot take. I'm not going to disagree with you. We've seen how many players have been signed to the ECHL and leagues overseas. They know how to produce talent here. Very good coaching staff led by Derek Schooley. And I think this is the year they finally get everything together and make some headway in the Atlantic Hockey Tournament. We've seen them make a couple pretty deep runs to the semifinals as of late, but I think this is the year they put it all together.
No. And the one thing, let's just throw it out here. Out of the three of us, boys, who's got the hottest take? Because I'm looking at Mr. Red over here.
Oh, look at the ginger, the hot take.
I didn't mean it. You were the one who said that.
Are we going to start the short jokes next week? Because that's where I'm heading.
I'm 5.5. I'm 5, 6 and a
Five
half.
and a half. You act like it too. That's where your hot take is, whereas mine is at 10, because we only shoot for the stars. Shoot for the stars. This is all fan mail from last week when I was on, by the way. That's a fact.
Really?
Yost, who has the hottest take?
I didn't know you had that many family members.
I would say yours, because this is an RMU team that listen,
you said
I said
literally
we're going to win the
last
whole
week they
thing.
were gonna
I
win the
said we're
whole
going to win the whole
conference.
thing. But, listen, this is a tough conference, and every home game, they might drop one. Who knows?
I can't comprehend how you're telling me last week they're going to win the whole conference, and now they're not. It's not possible for them to win all their home games. A guy puts on a banana shirt, and suddenly he knows everything.
Nick, this desk is made of wood, so next time don't bring something that hot here. That's our time. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next week.